Tom Clark's 6M podcast is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
Hey, what is up? Welcome to Tom Clark's 6M podcast. I'm your host, Tom Clark, and in this episode, I'm joined by co-host Phil Lindsey. Another fan convention and another episode of the 6M where we're talking about that convention that we didn't even go to. Right? Hey, look, man's busy. We got jobs. I'm just saying. There's stuff to do. These are all excuses for the fact that we did not go to D23. That just took place the weekend of August 14th through the 16th. But, buddy, we're going to talk about it here today because some big news came out of that event, and can't wait to get into it. We may have a new cast to talk about, may have some new trailers to discuss, and some other news that came out of that weekend. So it's going to be fun. Hopefully you dig it. Lots of good stuff here. It's a good time to be a comic book fan, if we haven't made that clear. I think I said that in the last episode. I'm sticking to it. Before we dig into the news, however, let's do this. D23, the ultimate Disney fan event, returned to Anaheim, California, the weekend of August 14th through 16th, bringing Disney fans together for a massive showcase of movies, television, games, theme parks, and, of course, comics. The biggest announcement was the reveal of the cast for Marvel Studios' upcoming X-Men film, directed by Thunderbolts filmmaker Jake Schreier. Marvel also showed new footage from Avengers Doomsday, revealed the first trailer for VisionQuest, unveiled a new trailer for Marvel's Wolverine, celebrated 65 years of Spider-Man, and announced several major updates coming to Disney parks. And that's just the Marvel news, kids, as D23 also brought new looks at The Incredibles 3, Ahsoka Season 2, and Star Wars Starfighter, along with news about other upcoming Disney projects. So today we're going to break down the biggest announcements, trailers, casting reveals, surprises, and a lot more. And that is your lowdown on D23 2026. Phil, every time this happens, it feels like we get all this cool stuff, which is great, like from San Diego Comic-Con. Next thing you know, D23. Were you following and keeping up to date on this, or did you just recall, oh man, that's this weekend? Like, where were you on this?
I just saw some of the stuff as it was announced. I forgot that D23 was coming up. And once I saw we were getting announcements, I just kept up with certain accounts that were either in attendance or giving updates on it. But, yeah, it's hard to keep up with these convention schedules.
It's a lot, right? Because, God, they happen so close back to back. We just did that Marvel episode 3 weeks ago, I think, for San Diego. Yeah, there was a lot here, man. What did you think overall about all the stuff that you saw? I mean, reason to be excited, right? Especially for Marvel, I would think.
Yeah, they are clearly going full ahead with their version of X-Men. I mean, that was very clear after a Brand New Day. But, yeah, I was surprised we didn't get the cast for X-Men at San Diego. And because we didn't, I figured we would get some news sooner rather than later. Because, yeah, they got to start filming this thing. It's releasing in 2028, I believe, right?
I think so. I thought it was starting next year. I thought it comes out on 2028.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's released in 2028.
Oh. I got you. Yeah. Yeah, they'll be starting soon, probably by the end of the year, I would think.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with that, because this obviously is the biggest news. The X-Men have arrived, kids, in case you've been living under a rock and didn't know about it. Marvel Studios' new X-Men movie, Kevin Feige unveiled the first major details about this film, directed by Jake Schreier, who did not get enough credit for that Thunderbolts movie. If you're out there and you're a hater of that Thunderbolts movie, shame on you, because that's a good movie. I'm sorry. I don't understand. It's in the archives if you want to go listen to our review. I think it's a good review. I thought it was a good film. I enjoyed it. But he did direct Thunderbolts. This movie is scheduled to hit theaters May 5th, 2028. Let's start with Sadie Sink. Phil, we already knew about her. We talked about her during the last episode, the Spider-Man episode, Brand New Day. She is Jean Grey, of course. What more can we say about her, man? Do you think she will be the focus of this film, or at least a primary focus, maybe?
I'm sure she'll be a primary focus because she was the first cast member that was introduced to the audience. And I think she was great. I think she's really good in Brand New Day. So looking forward to what they do with the character next. They've got to get Cyclops right, man. That's been my sticking point with Fox ever since X-Men 2. They've got to get Cyclops right.
Well, that's Kit Connor. What do you know about this kid?
I don't know a whole bunch about him, but I'm confident that they can get this right. Marvel Studios managed to get people to care about Captain America. So I'm pretty certain they could do the same thing with Cyclops, because for a lot of people, Captain America, or to a lesser degree Reed Richards, who should be the leader of the group, they didn't have like the focus that you'd expect, like, because they're not the cool character, right? And so I think if anybody's going to get this right, Marvel Studios will.
I hope so. I hope you're right. I mean, James Marsden did a bang-up job, but you can only do what you can do with what you can do with. So,
yeah, I thought he was perfect as Cyclops in the little bit that they gave him to do. But the problem is he didn't get much to do, particularly in the second and third movie.
Yeah, and Buddy, it felt like they were establishing a great path for him in part one. It felt like you got that rivalry with him and Logan, and it was freaking perfect. Their banter back and forth was legendary, and like you said, they kind of didn't do anything with him after that, or very little, I should say. Well, look, fingers crossed, man, because this cast is very young, right?
Yeah, you need a young cast
for sure. So we got Kid Connor, as we said, as Scott Summers / Cyclops, and the rest of the cast here. I do not see a Beast, and I do not see an Iceman. We were hoping we were going to get the original X-Men. I mean, is it possible they just haven't announced those two, or is this the core right here we're looking at?
There was a rumor about someone cast as Beast that pulled out before D23. So I would assume we're probably going to get a Beast in this movie. This is just the cast that we have on hand as of now. So this might not be all the X-Men we get in the movie.
I'm a big fan of, let's do the original team and then go from there.
Yeah. I was a big fan of Iceman growing up. He just had this cool look. Like his use of his powers was cool, and I still don't think we've gotten like a great Iceman on film yet.
Gosh, I can't remember his name. The twin brothers, and I forget Sean. What's his name that played Iceman? I thought he did a good job. I mean, he was in the original film, and they brought him back for Days of Future Past, of course. Mm-hmm. So it was cool to see him back again. But I mean, to get a comics accurate, like he's got the ice slide and everything, and he's full ice.
Yes.
Not just a dude in a suit. That would be cool to see, man.
That's what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting to see Bobby Drake in full form as Iceman with the ice slides and everything. And he really should be the Human Torch of this team.
Ooh, I like that. Yes. Well, yeah, good call. Yeah. So this team, apparently, we don't just have Cyclops. We don't just have Jean Grey. We also have Rogue, Indy Navarrete, because she's in a hit show, right? I've not seen it.
Obsession with the big hit movie this year. She was in that. I still haven't seen that yet. It's on my watch list. But yeah, she got a lot of great buzz coming out of that movie. I have no doubt she can knock this out the park. But again, the bar is low for a lot of the X-Men. For all of the success of the Fox franchise, a lot of the X-Men weren't used to their full potential. Rogue is another character where I feel like we still have not gotten like a truly great Rogue on screen yet.
Throwing shade at Anna Paquin. I see what you're doing.
And I mean, look, I like her in a role, but it's just like, if we're talking about like the Rogue that can fly and it's like sassy and like it's like a big powerhouse, we haven't seen that yet on film.
Do we need her to say "shug" or "sugar" every 2 seconds? That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Is she going to earn her white streak in the final act of this movie, or is she going to have white hair initially? We don't know.
Magneto's not going to give it to her because, as far as we know, he's not in this movie.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad. They need to take a break from Magneto.
I mean, I submit that the dynamic between him and Charles, not just in the books, of course, it's iconic, but the way they set the tone in that first X-Men film, Like, buddy, the first scene of your X-Men movie is Auschwitz. It's a concentration camp. Jesus Christ. Like, set the tone for, we need you to know who these people are. Like, from day one. That's still one of the most gripping things I've ever seen in a movie, much less a comic book movie. It's when he's reaching for his parents, you know? Heartbreaking. So, like, I don't know that God, man, how do you go back? I don't know how I'm trying to get out. You know what I mean? How do you go back because they're going to bring him out eventually. It could be 2 movies from now or part 2, whatever that's going to happen. I don't know. I think you would have to do it in such a way where you're not sort of going back and plus now you can't make him that age because it wouldn't make any sense, right? So
Yeah. There are already rumors going around that when they do introduce Magneto, he's not going to be a Holocaust survivor.
yeah,
That's kind of important to his character, but at this point, because of his age, I don't know how you could do that. So we'll see. I'm sure they're going to make some kind of changes, but I do think you've got to develop some of these other characters, and Magneto and Professor X's dynamic was such a big focal point for the original trilogy and even First Class in that trilogy.
yeah.
So I think you could really take a chance on another villain this time around because Magneto has been in every X-Men movie. When you look at it, he's been in every single one of them.
Him and Professor X, right?
Yeah. So you really could use another villain this time around. And I'm kind of glad they're not trying to rush in and recast Wolverine. Develop some of these other characters first. Don't rush in and try to put Wolverine in right away.
We gotta have some breathing room.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty sure we're gonna get, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. They're teasing it like crazy. They put that video. Did you see the video of Jackman? He's talking to him off camera. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been
So
teasing
good.
it since San Diego. At this point, there's no way Deadpool is not in this movie.
Oh, dude, for sure. Yeah. We've also got Emma Frost, who was that was announced online, I believe. Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. Good casting, I believe. Professor X, talk about you have to nail a character, you have to nail an actor, you have to nail it from day one. Christopher Abbott. I've seen him in stuff. I like him. I don't know that I envision him as Professor X, but again, he's very young compared to what we've seen before from this character or of this character. So I'm going to reserve judgment. I like the fact he's a good actor. He is not English, which is interesting, right? Which not that he has to be, right? I just think it was, again, you're going to see or think about either McAvoy or Stewart when you think about Professor X. I mean, dude, as much as we want all these characters to be nailed, you have to get Professor X correct, right? I mean,
Yes.
that's a given. You have to get this right.
Yeah. And he's got some big shoes to fill. Patrick Stewart is probably about as perfect as you can get with casting Professor Xavier.
Yeah.
We didn't think they would be able to top that, and McAvoy came in and did a fantastic job.
Wow.
And it's kind of wild when you think about it that Fox really cast 2 excellent Charles Xaviers, and they managed to strike out with some of these movies with both of these guys to the point that it's kind of a shame that McAvoy was wasted on 2 of those movies that weren't very good. Because I thought he would have been a perfect Professor Xavier moving forward. But again, I mean, if you're Marvel, you probably want to get away from everything that had to do with that last trilogy.
Yeah, right?
Which again is a shame because I think some of those actors cast in whether it be Apocalypse or the Dark Phoenix movie, those were good actors, but just in 2 very bad movies.
Look, just let him speak proper. Don't have him do an English accent. If that's the plan, don't do the plan. Just have him speak like he's a smart and like an intelligent professor. That's what he should sound like. He shouldn't sound like me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But he does not need to sound British either. I don't think. We also got the big reveal, Phil, of Adam Driver, who did a great little tease on the screen, announced himself as Magneto, and then took it back. But instead of saying Mr. Sinister, he said Nathaniel Milbury. Did you get that? No one in that crowd knew what he meant. Like, they were waiting for the words Mr. Sinister, and they're like, who'd he say? Who'd he say he's playing? I thought that was very funny, man.
They've been chasing Adam Driver for quite some time. They've been trying to cast him for something in the Marvel Universe for a long time. And then Parallel to that, Fox has been trying to get Mr. Sinister on screen for quite some time. They started teasing him in some of the Wolverine movies, and we just never managed to get it to happen. So this kind of feels like this was long overdue. Both of these things happening. Adam Driver in a Marvel Studio film, and he's going to be playing Mr. Sinister of all people. And I think he's a good villain to start out with. If you're not going to go with Magneto, you need another well-known X-Men villain. And this is a guy that was in the 90s show. He's been in a ton of comics. This makes a lot of sense. And Adam Driver is a great actor, so I have no doubt that he's going to do great.
He seems pumped up, which is good, right? Because you want these guys to be excited. Like they're going to come out at D23 and say, "Hi, I'm Mr. Sinister." Like, of course he's going to be pumped and excited, but I like this guy a lot, man. I saved Storm till last. I cannot wait to talk about this. This is Maya Boyd. First thing I heard, she's too short. Why is she just so short? I'm like, let me get this straight. You have a problem with her being short. How tall is Halle Berry again? Like, what are we talking about? Michael Keaton. How tall is Michael Keaton again? How tall is Hugh Jackman? Like, we care about height. What is happening here? What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, I remember that was the thing when Hugh Jackman was cast because he's too tall.
Yes.
Wolverine is a runt. He's short.
Yes.
It's a big part of his characteristics. Yeah, I mean, in my mind, when I think Storm, I think she should be like tall, and I think she should be like statuesque. She should look like a goddess, a model. I think this is good casting, though. I think going with an unknown is pretty good. X-Men as a franchise has done pretty well with getting an unknown from Broadway to come in and play a big role. So
good.
I have no doubt that she probably will do well. This was one of those online casting talk around Storm is serious business. And it's partially because, again, Fox did not cast Storm well. Now, Halle Berry, of course, great actress.
Yeah.
I didn't think she fit the role. And I understood why she was cast in the role at the time, because you needed a big name. At that time in Hollywood, in order to get a comic book movie greenlit, you needed a name. And Halle Berry was the biggest name attached to this movie. And so I got it, but she never quite felt like she fit the role to me. And that's no knock against her acting ability. It's just I never thought that she fit the role. I thought it needed to be someone that felt like regal. I do want Storm to be dark-skinned. I do want her to have a believable African accent. And we haven't quite got that yet. I don't think we've gotten a truly great Storm yet either. You could get into, Storm because she was Halle Berry, because she was the first one. Like, she's iconic in some ways, but
Yeah.
we haven't had like a truly great Storm yet.
Well, you know, you mentioned the accent. One of the things I'm a little on the fence about is Downey doing an accent. Like, it's fine. He's Doctor Doom. He's not going to sound like me. So I get it.
He sounds pretty great in the clip we got.
He sounds great. So it seems like it's going to be fine. I feel like the cast of Black Panther has set the bar for this is how you do an accent and make it sound good, and we don't sound ridiculous. Like, if you didn't know Boseman didn't speak like that, you'd be surprised to learn he didn't speak like that, because he was awesome. So, like, if she does attempt it here, I hope it works out. Yeah, she's short. Again, name the actor, insert your actor here, and, you know, how many actors shouldn't have been, wouldn't have been, couldn't have been, whatever. I'm going to reserve judgment until I see how it plays out. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't dislike her. Are any of these castings to you like, okay, they nailed it? Sadie, maybe? Is that the one you can flat out say they nailed it?
Well, yeah, obviously, because we've already seen her in a movie.
Sure.
I don't know many of these actors.
Same.
And I don't think that's a bad thing, because as we've seen a lot of times when you go with a big name, sometimes that doesn't mean it's going to be a slam dunk. So we'll see. And I mean, again, we've had so much success with unknowns in these movies before that I have no doubt that this could work. And I'm glad we went very young. I'm glad that they're kind of trying to go with some semblance of the original five. We've got Cyclops, we've got Jean. I sure hope we're getting at least Beast and Iceman. I I would like to see Angel as well. Again, we haven't had a great Angel. Again, there's so much potential here for Marvel's X-Men because we got to see a lot of X-Men on screen in the Fox movies, but I can't say that we got like a great depiction of a lot of those characters.
Does this need to be heavier than Thunderbolts? I'm not saying that Jake directed Thunderbolts, so it's going to be like that. I'm not saying that. But, like, does this need to be a little bit heavier in tone, or should it be a little lighthearted because they're all so young?
You got to strike the right balance, I believe. You've got to really drive home that now, because the Marvel's cinematic universe has existed for over a decade, and in universe, the government knows about enhanced individuals. The world at large knows about aliens and enhanced individuals. So you've got to really build up the reasoning why there would be fear around mutants. And I think they did a great job of starting that in Brand New Day. But you've got to give us the right reasoning of why the people at large would be afraid of mutants.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's the right time. I'm going to assume this is it has to be the right time. You're not ready for you've got New Avengers, old Thunderbolts.
Boink Studios YouTube is the home of Tom Clark's 6M podcast. Tom Clark's main event, Bear Mode, a podcast review of The Bear, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Subscribe to the channel for archives that date back to 2014, with new content being uploaded every week. And check out boinkstudios.com for links to every podcast platform, social media, special announcements, and a lot more. Bookmark the site today.
Is it the right time in terms of, we know we're not going to see Cap and Thor and Iron Man and Hulk again. So, like, we got to start moving along. And is X-Men the right, or I guess a great way to kind of move us in a new direction here?
I think it's the right time in terms of the people at large being kind of tired of these like big catastrophic events. Because I mean, if you live in New York, you've got to be exhausted. You got to be tired of all these people.
Right.
And I mean, coming off of like Civil War and the Accords, and what Damage Control has been doing throughout all the Spider-Man movies, and big events like the blip and everything, you would see why there would be more of a reason for why the government would want to step in and have some safeguards in place.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, New York's been battered, bruised, and destroyed since the 60s, since Marvel moved in and took over. So, yeah, at least on paper and in the books. Yeah, fingers crossed. I think they're going in the right direction. I think I like that they didn't rush anything. I don't feel like Gene was rushing anything. It's. I think you get in trouble when it becomes, hey guys, fans really want Venom. Can we just put him in this movie? That's when you get in trouble. Yeah. So I don't feel that here. I feel like they've got their direction. They know what they're going to do. So I appreciate that.
I still have my fingers crossed for Iceman. I really want to see Iceman in this film, and I want to see him done justice. But we'll see. So far, based on the cast we have, I'm excited to see what they do.
I'm too. Yeah. The younger, the better. I love that because you get more years in front and behind, and we get a chance to grow with these characters, watch them grow, and see them grow into the roles. So yeah, I'm all for it. Let's talk about that Doomsday trailer. You and I both agreed that we don't like to get trailered to death. This will be the last thing I'll watch. And when I watched it, I regretted watching it. Because I'm like, I didn't need to know any of this. Because, buddy, now we got a pretty good indication of why he turned heel to begin with. They all but revealed it and said it. Still don't know how he's got Tony's face, but we'll find all that out in due time. What did you think of this latest footage?
I thought it was great. I thought the acting we got, the delivery of some of these lines was great. There was some concern coming into this movie of how much of a relationship would there be between the Fantastic Four and Doom, and this trailer kind of immediately alleviates that. The first narration we get throughout the trailer is Susan talking about what she used to know about Victor before he broke bad, and we get that great line from Reed. He's like, "Did you do this, Doom?" And it's so good. And I mean, yeah, some of the action we get, we got that clip of Thor coming down with Stormbreaker and Doom stopping it with two fingers in the first trailer. But this time around, we get the line from Thor beforehand, and boy, is it great. Thor is coming in with Stormbreaker, and he says, "When I'm done with you, you'll wish for hell." And he stops it with two fingers, and he pushes him away with it looks like a spell, and he tells him, "Hell does my bidding, for I am Doom." And I was like, that's enough for me. I will be there first day. Like, this is what I've wanted for over 20 years at this point. I think Doom is like the best Marvel comic villain. And if you don't have Doom speaking in first person and doing large, bold declarations like that, what are we doing?
He's great, man. That was, and he brings Sentinels up out of the ground, right? Yes. That's big right there, dude. Like,
yeah. I've seen some people point out that his powers look very similar to Loki's. I do think that that's going to play into things with where Loki is at the end of season 2 of Loki. Because I have to assume with almost every iteration we've gotten of Secret War and Doom getting into power, it's him stealing power from another big cosmic entity. The Beyonder is not in play here. At least we don't know of yet. But Loki is. And I do think there's a world where he could find a way to steal Loki's powers. And it's Doom. We know Doom is going to figure out a way to put himself on a throne. It's a hallmark of a character. It's not just that I'm right and I know what's best for the world. I have the solution that none of the rest of you could come up with. But once I come up with the solution, I should rule.
Yeah, I mean, man, this teaser. Well, look, I know where you stood when we talked about Marvel Hall H in that episode. Kids, it's in the archives. Please go check it out. I'm going to ask you again after watching this. Do you still think Doom is not the villain here?
I have a feeling there's still something we don't know here, because it just seems like it's too simple of, oh, well, Doom is going to get into power somehow. I still think the incursions are the major threat. And I think it's that Doom has figured out a solution to the incursions, because, of course, that was a part of the Hickman run, and Doom showing up and coming up with his plan for how to deal with the incursions, and that leads to the creation of Battleworld.
I got to tell you, man, I'm very excited for this. December 18th, kids, in case you don't have the date for some reason in your head. The Doomsday Clock's running all the time, by the way.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Am I concerned because we have another Thanos-level villain? Maybe. And are you basically saying that this is the only reason the Avengers are together is for the Thanos-level villains? Well, yeah, because the Defenders aren't going to fight this guy, and Spider-Man by himself wouldn't be doing it, right? Thunderbolt, sure, but we're talking this is Avengers level. This is Omega level. This is the end of the time, end of the world level threat. But like you said earlier, could that become, before this movie even comes out, I'm asking this, could that become law of diminishing returns if it's not handled correctly? I guess is what I'm asking.
The thing I really like about this, especially this trailer, is you get the idea that the Avengers mucking with time is the reason all of this is happening. And I really like the idea that everything the Avengers do has consequences. And since the very first Avengers movie, it's kind of been like this idea of causality where the Avengers, in theory, need to exist to deal with a big threat. But on the other hand, as long as the Avengers have existed, all of these big threats keep happening because of them. And you could go all the way back to day one. Yeah, they handled the Chitauri, but if they're not there to handle the Chitauri, and Earth doesn't have a group of its mightiest heroes standing guard, Thanos might not feel like he has to come to Earth, because now the balance of the scale has been tipped. And it's the same with Ultron. Ultron does not exist if it isn't for Tony Stark, and so on and so on. And so I definitely think we're getting to this place where all of these major threats are happening, as a consequence to the Avengers.
That's like, who would have thunk it? Like, but that's Marvel, right? Like, I don't know that DC would do something. Well, at least not on the big screen, maybe. This idea of, yeah, we need the Avengers, sure, yeah, but man, well, when they did this and did this and did this, that caused Avengers Part 2. Oh man, well, because they did this, this, and this, that caused Thanos. Like, you're right. Like, what everything they do leads to something else, dude. That's mind blowing. That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, the one alliance here is Doom telling all of these characters, "You're living off of borrowed time, and you're living."
I love that.
You've stolen moments that don't belong to you, and you can look at it as Cap, a man out of time, decided to just go off and have a family and retire, and even his act of attempting to retire has created an enemy for him.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest with you. I don't think he survives. I think we see him. I don't think Cap makes it out of this alive, honestly.
Yeah, I do think there's going to be a big reset. I do think this is going to be something similar to Infinity War, where even if some of these characters are killed off for some reason, I do think we'll see them again. I don't think this is just like, oh, all of these characters will die in this time travel, it seems like, inspired threat, and they're just going to be completely gone.
So you mean the characters? You don't necessarily mean the actors, right?
Yes, the characters. I do think we'll see
Gotcha.
a lot of these characters return.
But see, that's another issue, Phil. If you're going to change Magneto's backstory because you had to change Frank Castle's backstory, he could no longer have fought in Vietnam, so he didn't, and it worked. You just said special forces, blah blah blah. But how are you going to change Cap's backstory unless we're just going to stick with military, I guess, but like the rise of Hitler and everything, that's kind of a big deal to his mythos. Like, that's going to be interesting to see how they play that, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that Chris Evans will die here, but it certainly seems like, because they show all of they show his son in the trailer. They show Love from Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Multiple kids are shown here, and it seems like that is who Doom is coming for, all of these kids. Franklin Richards is also in the trailer.
It's a good call, yeah, because ooh. I just don't want to know anything else. I don't want anything else. If they do another teaser, keep it away from me. I'm not watching it. Because, spoiler alert, kids, they make it pretty clear in this tease, Phil, that Doom's mom is no longer with us. And that's possibly what has brought us to this point. So how's that going to play in, you think?
I'm not sure. I've seen some people assume that because he's in front of the tapestry. He's in front of the tapestry on the first poster that they put out as well. Mm-hmm. And we see this tapestry with the woman and the kid again in this trailer. I'm curious, is this Doom's mother? Is this his wife and child?
I didn't think about that.
Obviously, something happened here, and he lost loved ones, and so he's looking at it like, if I don't get to have loved ones, why do you get to use time to have a happy ending? Why do you get a happy ending?
Ooh, man, that's I cannot wait for this, dude. I'm so pumped for this, man. I couldn't be more pumped. This is awesome. So you set us up for VisionQuest, and I want to talk about it. I cannot wait. October 14th, kids. Freaking James Spader. Dude, I am so in the back for this show. I cannot believe how good it looks, how good Spader looks. This is fantastic. What's your thoughts on this?
I was surprised how good this trailer looked. I mean, I thought this trailer looked better than the Doomsday trailer, to be honest. Like, I thought, like, the effects and everything, like the color grading and the lighting and everything, it looked really great. I was glad to see Ultron again. This confirmed one of my long-standing theories that Vision did not kill Ultron. I've been saying this since I saw Age of Ultron, all the way when it came out. It just made too much sense to me. Like, we didn't see Ultron's death. We get that big flash of light, and the way that Ultron is trying to talk him down, I was like, oh, he definitely did not kill him. He definitely imprisoned him inside either the Mind Stone or inside his memory. And so this makes all the sense in the world. They're clearly like influences to the Tom King Vision run with like the family and everything, and just like how they set everything up with the house, and this is a twist on it. I think that's great. I love that they've set WandaVision up as like this big trilogy of TV shows as well,
Yeah.
with the same director and writer behind it. I love that we got something that has a shared continuity, and the same creative mind is behind it. And you can very much tell that here. And as somebody that was a big fan of WandaVision, I thought that really set the tone for all of the Disney Plus shows. And I thought Agatha All Along was also very good. So,
One son, not two. What do you think? There's got to be a twist here, right? Because in the show, he had two sons. What are we missing here that they're not telling us?
I mean, they're clearly setting up something to get us to the reveal of Wanda's second son that was not in, because we already have Wiccan. So I'm sure we're going to see Speed at some point here.
It's interesting because when he realizes he has a son, they say a son, go get your son, not sons. And then we get to see real live Spader, Dad, Papa, Peepaw. Dude, that popped me. That was so good. He's so funny, man. He looks great. I love that all this is in Vision's mind, and that's going to be the way this plays out. Very cerebral, very, effects heavy, of course, but you expect that. It is Vision. Bettany looks great. I'm really pumped up for this, man. I can't wait to see what happens. Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't think about it being a trilogy until they flat out said it during the trailer. But I'm here for that, man. I'm here for that. We never did Agatha All Along, did we?
I don't remember. I think we did. We definitely talked about it. But yeah, what a great show. I think they did such a great job of introducing Wiccan as a character, and I assume this show, like I said, is going to introduce Speed in some way. We've got almost all the other Young Avengers on the board, so I have to assume we're leading in that direction.
Yeah, and you know what? Because that is that the same actor in the trailer, or is this Speed? Have I got my brothers mixed up?
Is Wiccan in the trailer? Did I miss him?
There is his son is in the trailer for sure, but I don't think it's Wiccan. I think it's Speed.
Oh, well, could go either way because I mean,
there you go.
Obviously, at the end of Agatha All Along, Wiccan goes off to find his brother, and so that's definitely going to play into this show if it's a continuation of those two shows. Yeah,
that's got to be Speed. Wow. Well, kids, we take it back. They've evidently got both sons. Yeah, I'm up for it. Anything Spader does, again, his voicing Ultron has been great. He's having fun. It's so good, man. Very much looking forward to this. What do you think about the streaming part of this? Like, I know we're still doing like we're going to incorporate streamers into the films. I mean, they've really scaled back their TV production. I think at some point maybe they went in too heavy at some point. And plus, if people are not like you and me and we watch every single thing that Marvel does, you want to go just see a Marvel movie. You may not have any idea who's in this film. That's a thing. I mean, what do you think about the pace now, though? Do you think they're in a better position than they were before?
I think there's clearly a reason why they wanted to pull back on the production of the TV shows. It's a bummer that we're not getting season 2 of Wonder Man because Wonder Man was so good. It's a catch-22 in some ways because I really think that they found the right tone with the TV shows and that the TV shows had gotten better and better. But I also understand not wanting to oversaturate and not trying to give your audience too much to watch.
Who would ever thought that would be a thing where you're like, I don't think I've ever said I've got too much to watch, but I do have a lot to watch. So
yeah, I mean, we're at this point with Marvel Studios where, if you're going to treat most of this stuff like appointment viewing and you need to watch all of this to understand what's going on, it's a lot for some fans to keep up with. I mean, obviously, if you're a comic fan, you're going to watch everything. But if you're like a casual fan, you're probably not going to watch all the TV shows or watch every single movie. And it's hard to tell your audience to do that because these things are not just for us.
That's true. That's very well said. Yeah. I don't know if you're still if you're a gamer, Phil, or if you still are, if you have been in a while. The trailer for the new Marvel's Wolverine game looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's the same company, I believe, that made the last two Spider-Man movies. I mean, Spider-Man games.
Insomniac. Yep.
Yeah. And those games were really well received. I don't have a PlayStation, so I've
Same.
played them here and there, but I don't own any of them. Obviously, those games had a big influence on Brand New Day. We've seen that talked about a lot. Both Tom Holland and the director both talked about how much they love those games. So that tells you everything you need to know about how popular they became. And man, this Wolverine trailer I saw, it looked really, really good.
Yeah.
Looks like a fun game. I played a ton of X-Men games at this point, like X-Men Legends. It's a great game. Marvel Alliance, we got like Wolverine in those games, but this looks totally different than all of those.
It does, right? Yeah. Wolverine deserves to have a real, honest-to-God game for himself. Like, yeah, man. September 15th is the release date on this one. It's right around the corner, actually. I also do not have a PlayStation, but I am playing on Steam. So I'm thinking about buying one of the Spider-Man games on Steam because I haven't played any of them in years because a friend of mine had a PlayStation. I haven't played it since then. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I did like this trailer. It's interesting for a different voice to be coming out of his mouth other than Jackman, but it's fine. You know, I don't necessarily need anybody doing an impression of Hugh Jackman for me. But, you know, because as we said, they need to move ahead. Tom Clark's 6M podcast is sponsored in part by Radius Law Group. Every day, Radius helps individuals, families, small businesses, and nonprofit organizations throughout North Carolina, Florida, and Pennsylvania resolve their legal issues by providing effective legal counsel in the areas of estate planning, as well as elder law and Medicaid. Radius Law holds the radical belief that working with a lawyer can indeed be enjoyable. So give them a call at 1-800-519-5667 for more information and tell them that Tom Clark's 6M podcast sent you. That Avengers game, did you ever play that one where it's like, I don't expect you to try to get the actors to do the voices, but the minute you heard them talk, wasn't it like, ooh, this feels weird? Because like Avengers were still very much thing and active in the theater, right? But here's this game, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah, that game wasn't very good. I liked that it focused around Kamala Khan, and it just wasn't really good. I mean, the Guardians game was a lot better. There's a Guardians of the Galaxy game that came out not long after that, and it's much better. It's kind of like Mass Effect with like the Guardians characters.
Nice. Yeah, cool. I have not played that yet. That's pretty cool. Kids, if you care anything about it, we also got some news about Marvel's coming to Disney Parks Avengers Campus. They talked about that. Spider-Man gets his own land. It's the only thing they're not making any more of, kids, is land. Shanghai Disneyland Resort will receive a Spider-Man-themed land. It'll be the world's first dedicated land exclusive to Spider-Man. Gonna go to Shanghai and check that out, are you, Phil?
Can't say that that's on my immediate list of things to do. Sounds very expensive, but
yeah,
you know, could be fun.
Hong Kong Disneyland. So yeah, they celebrated 65 years of Spider-Man, as we said at the opening. There was a Spider-Man D23 panel. Jacob Batalon surprised the crowd by showing up. They talked about, of course, they talked about Brand New Day, and they discussed why Spider-Man has remained popular for decades. They did reveal the trailer for the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2. It looks pretty awesome, kids, if you've not checked it out. I won't spoil it here for you. I could, because we get something that we knew we were going to get eventually. Well, we sure got it. Did you think we got it too early?
Oh, well, they set it up in the first season, so I assumed.
Well, there
With
you
all
go.
of the other space stuff that they did in the first season, I assumed we were going to get it.
I totally forgot about the end of Season 1. You're completely right. Wow.
Yeah, so,
well, maybe I do have too much to watch, Phil.
Yeah, they set up a lot of stuff with like the cosmic stuff and the symbiote in the first season. So
That's right.
I figured we were going to see the symbiote again in the second season, but they've got a lot of stuff they set up. We've got Norman. We've still got like the journey or possible heel turn for Lonnie Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Scorpion on the board. We've got a lot of the main bads. Doc Ock is on the board. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. And of course, there was great cosplay. Go out of your way, kids. Look up those clips on YouTube. They're pretty great. Let's talk a little bit about The Incredibles Part 3. Are you Incredibles guy? Did you like those first two films?
I thought the first movie was great. The second movie, it feels like they waited a little long to get to it. And because of that, the excitement wasn't quite there. And I think it's a good movie. I'm not remembering a lot of it. And I'm trying to remember, like, what is the plot of it. And I'm not remembering a lot of it. I know a lot of it is Helen, Elastigirl, goes off and starts moonlighting again as a superhero. And that sets up the main threat. But other than that, I don't remember a lot of that movie. I was excited to see Frozone is back. Samuel L. Jackson, I assume, is coming back to reprise the role.
That's pretty cool. Peter Dr. teased The Incredibles Part 3 here. It will focus heavily on Violet and Dash, which makes a lot of sense. But basically, the thrust of this story, the thrust of the first story is Mr. Incredible. Second was Helen. The third one will be about the kids. The two older kids want to prove they're ready to become real supers. Their parents are convinced they aren't ready. Violet and Dash begin sneaking out at night to protect the city, and their nighttime superhero activities don't go over well at home. And, of course, Jack still struggling to contain his powers. Best bit of that whole film is Jack. Freaking great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Boy, that first film, we did The Incredibles, didn't we? Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah, great movie. God, what a great movie. Jeez. Jason Lee. So many moments of that film felt like an actual, physical cast when she turns around and tells her kids, this is serious. This is real. There's people here who are trying to kill you. Like, she's trying to stress to them how important, how serious this is. I'm sure kids went to see it, but Buddy, in the end, was it a kids movie? Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, they got close. They got close to the line.
Sure.
But yeah, what a great movie. A classic movie, I believe.
So good.
One of the best of the Pixar movies. Yeah, I think that they've kind of gone away from what made Pixar special, that they kept coming with new ideas and like fresh stories, and now it's a lot of sequels. We're getting a lot of sequels.
A lot of sequels. I mean, there's still new ideas out there, kids. It's just that they have to be willing to take a chance on creators to get new ideas in the door. And that's the problem. As we've said many times on this show, and other podcasters have said many times on theirs, I'm sure, IP is king.
Yes.
IP that has made money in the past is all that matters to these studios, Phil.
Yeah. We're gonna keep drumming out Cars movies for you.
Right? Jeez.
Got to keep going with these Cars movies or Toy Story. Yeah. We're at 5 Toy Story movies, guys.
God almighty. Best thing about the animated films, you don't have to be young. You don't have to get in shape. You don't have to hit the gym. You don't have to dye your hair. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You just show up and record your voice. Boy, there's been pushback lately on Hollywood actors doing voiceover work, and it's like, who was it that I see was kind of going off on that when they're not actually trained voice actors? Like, some of them get it and they end up doing well, but a lot of them just show up and just talk and then leave, and you're like,
yeah.
Ask Kevin Conroy if that's how you become a voice actor. Like, there's a lot more art to it than that,
Yeah, I mean, big names coming in and doing like these feature films has been a thing with Disney for a long time.
Yeah.
So this isn't necessarily anything new, but it's got. I guess like the landscape has completely changed as well, because you have more celebrities and movie stars doing streamers and TV shows now, and that wasn't as a regular occurrence as it is now.
Yeah, that's very true. I want to wrap up now with Ahsoka season 2. We're not getting this till next year. Season 1 ended in October of 2023. The story, kids, again, if you didn't expect spoilers in this episode, I don't know what to tell you. Ahsoka continues her journey beyond the known galaxy. Her and her apprentice, Sabine Wren, travel across a mysterious and dangerous world, trying to find their way home. Their friends must deal with Grand Admiral Thrawn, as Thrawn and his allies are attempted to plunge the New Republic into war. Rosario Dawson, of course, is back, as I think most of the cast is back. Lars Mikkelsen as Grand Admiral Thrawn, who looks and sounds great. Rory McCann is here as Balin Skull, of course, taking over for the late, great Ray Stevenson. A lot of Hayden Christensen in that trailer, man. So he's going to be her Force Ghost. What's your thoughts on this, man? What do you think about continuing the show? What do you think about what you may want to see from out of season 2 here?
I really liked the first season. I liked how much lore that they brought over from the Clone Wars show. And it seems like that's more of this here. I mean, they're at the point now with Hayden Christensen coming in, they could almost make an entire movie adaptation of the Clone Wars. And Like, I thought that was some of the best stuff from season 1, where we got young Ahsoka in some of those scenes with Anakin in the flashbacks, and we're getting more Anakin here in the Force Ghost as a Force Ghost. Can't be more happy for this guy. He got a lot of hate for that prequel trilogy, and a lot of that wasn't his fault. That was a tall order for him to play Anakin Skywalker, and we're talking about one of the most iconic villains of all time. You've got to get this backstory right, and that was a tough role for him to play. And I don't think it was necessarily his fault that those movies weren't well received by a lot of people. And he got a lot of unnecessary hate. And so I'm glad to see the fan base really welcome him back with open arms. And I'm glad to see him excited to do more Star Wars stuff, because he could have easily been like, yeah, I'm done with this. We've seen other people that have been spurned by the Star Wars fandom, and we might not ever see those guys again. I mean, when you look at Finn from the sequel trilogy and the way that the fans treated him, it doesn't seem like he is interested in playing that role again. And that could change, but every time they ask him about Star Wars, that guy does not seem interested in reprising his role as Finn.
Yeah, and there's some, I think we talked about here on the show before, there's been some stuff that happened after the fact where you're like, yeah, a lot of it feels weird now. And like, you're right, 90% of it was the fans.
Yes. And
yeah,
unfortunately. And John Boyega is such a great actor. I say all the time, when you look at those videos of him on the red carpet for Force Awakens, and he's so excited about playing this role. He's so excited about being a part of this franchise, and he's celebrating on this red carpet with his friends and family, and then you get to how upset he is by the end of this whole experience, and it's really, really awful. I would love to see John Boyega do other things with this franchise, but it feels like it's gonna take some time. But I say all that to say that I'm glad to see that Hayden Christensen is back and see that he is still excited about playing this role.
Yeah, Dave Filoni created the series, and he writes the series, of course, so he's here. And season 1 won a 2024 Emmy for Outstanding Fantasy Sci-Fi Costumes. So, yeah, the first season got awards for crafts and whatnot, but no, it was well received, I think. Yeah, I'm open-minded. I liked season 1. You're more connected to the Clone Wars and all that than I am. I never really got into it, but I enjoyed it. I'm basically here for whatever Rosario Dawson wants to do, honestly. I'm here for it. So I've always been a fan. 3 years in between. What do you think about that? Like, do you think that'll impact it at all next year? Or do you think it'll just be people just take it season by season here?
Well, I mean, as long as Rosario's up to play the role, I think the makeup and like everything still looks good. The guy they picked as Ezra Bridger in season 1. I mean, he looks picture perfect. Like, he looks exactly like Ezra from the cartoon. So he's back in this season as well, and I think as long as they've got the cast and they've got good stories, I don't mind. It is kind of surprising that, because when you said that, I was like, wait, that was 2023? I thought at least 2024, but that's a long time between these things.
Crazy. Yeah, again, I'm gonna reserve judgment, and we'll see. So, Star Wars Starfighter. This might be one of the biggest question marks, I think, at least for me. I debated this Star Wars thing with folks. You and I have talked about it a lot too. And, this idea that, well, we want to evolve, the galaxy. We want to take these stories and push them forward. And I'm like, I've always said that this universe has a tougher road to hoe than Marvel does. Because even if you showed up and didn't like a Marvel film, yeah, but they didn't write it to get viewers. They didn't write it for the story. They wrote it because the characters have been here since the 1960s, and they can draw from stories and past, storylines and timelines. Starfighter is, I won't say they created this to be a movie, but again, Phil, they want to move things forward, which I respect. But buddy, I don't know that it's really worked out to this point, man. I don't want to make this an indictment on the whole universe here, but You got any thoughts on this Starfighter thing? What do you think?
I think they've done a good job, at least so far, with the Disney Plus shows. I mean, obviously they had monster success with Mandalorian, and I've enjoyed some of the other stuff they've done. Like I thought Ahsoka was great. The Darth Maul show they did was great. They've done a good job of like expanding the lore and doing stuff in between the movies. Andor was also very good. So I have no doubt with like the right creative minds behind this that this can be good. You're bringing in a great actor in Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling double dipping. He's getting some Star Wars and Marvel money.
Right. That's a lot of money, buddy.
Good for him. He's fully on the bandwagon with Disney at this point. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what it is. There hasn't been much Star Wars Disney Plus material that I haven't enjoyed. But this is what happens, when Disney gets a hold of something and everything has to turn into a big franchise. We just talked about that with Pixar and how now all of these movies, they could be franchised. They're ripe for franchises. And that's just kind of the thing once Disney comes in. Like Marvel is a big machine that's not going to stop anytime soon. And we're at the same spot with Star Wars, where it's like we're going to keep pumping out Star Wars movies for as long as we can.
Very true. And they got Sean Levy as director, man. I mean, that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, very interesting. Same director and leading actor as the Ghost Rider film.
Yeah, well said.
I don't know. I don't know how this is going to pan out. We'll see. I'm kind of easy at this point. I have tuned in for most of the Star Wars content they're giving us.
Yeah, and of course, I grew up with the originals, and I've been here for it ever since. I've not been, the first three are the only three. I don't do that crap. I enjoy the other trilogy. I didn't enjoy the prequels, but I did enjoy the other trilogy. That Last Jedi was...
Yeah, are we still getting another trilogy starring Rey? It seems like that was in the making at one point. We haven't heard many updates on it.
Look, she can do what she wants, and if that's what she wants to do, more power to her. It seems like, and I'm not trying to say let people stop you from doing it, but buddy, I would want to be sure. I want the creative direction right now. I want it laid out in front of me. I want to know what she's going to be. First movie versus the third. Like, no surprises. That weird stuff they did when JJ came back, and you're like, this doesn't even feel right. What happened? Like, yeah.
I think if we're going to do another trilogy with Daisy Ridley, it should be the same director for all three movies. I don't think we should be doing this again where we're going to bring in another director midway through and then go back to JJ to end the trilogy.
Yeah. I don't want to see that either. I mean, to answer the question, I hope she comes back. I'd like to see her, but I think there's a lot. Will people go to see it? Yes. Are you going to have to change some people's minds because of how you screwed things up to begin with? Yes. Again, that Force Awakens movie, we've done the whole trilogy here, kids. There's a lot of avatars there in the first three films that you didn't even need to do. Wasn't even necessary. But they just felt this need to, we have to connect it back to the, I don't know.
But see, that's why I liked the second movie, because it attempted to do something different, and it tried to get away from like everybody has to be a legacy character, and everything had to have a tie to the Skywalkers, and it's like you could have just done something new. You didn't have to do that, but why do something new, right?
Well, right.
Yeah, and I mean, Johnson's a great director. I thought he did a good job with that movie. If you don't watch the Knives Out movies, I don't know why you're not, because they're all fantastic.
Knives Out are tremendous. There's things about that Star Wars movie I'm not a fan of, but I think he, again, I would put that confrontation with him and Kylo Ren up against anything I've seen in a movie before. That deal where he's freaking brushed the dirt off your shoulder. Are you freaking kidding me? Get out. One of the best moments I've ever seen in a film, bar none.
Yeah, I thought that his whole exchange with Rey in that movie is great as well. But
yes,
of course, we didn't pay that off because, again, everything has to tie back to the original trilogy, and we just, for some reason, had to give him this turn instead of just making him a bad guy.
She's the Emperor's granddaughter. Yeah, okay. Sure. Fun. Right, spoiler. Yeah. Anyway, this Starfighter movie, kids, this thing is supposedly set at the furthest point in the Star Wars timeline. Good luck, guys, because unless this guy's last name is Solo or Skywalker, no, I'm not going to do that. I like Gosling. I hope they got this. I hope they nail it. He plays Cade. Cade is a pilot, and he has some of the swagger associated with Gosling's drive persona. I'm in for that already. So, yeah, the trailer I don't think has been released officially. Let's see, young Flynn Gray's character walks into a rusty spaceship garage. It's like I was getting ready to tell him, Starfighter walks into a bar. No. And he drives a spacecraft that resembles a speeder. Yeah, anyway, I'm not going to give it all away. There's a bunch of other stuff in here. Yeah, we'll see. There's Star Wars connections, of course. Speeder bikes, racing across swamps, large Imperial-looking starships, because the Empire is never going away, Phil. Like, they're going to keep calling. There's got to be a villain. So the Empire's never going to go away. They're just going to, like, resurface or rebuild or whatever it is they do. If this is going to be the furthest point in the timeline, that's a long ways out, man. That's a long ways out, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be 100 years. I don't know. I don't know how long they're going to take it. Interesting. May 28, 2027 is the release date. Is it coming that soon? Wow. So, in the end, what are you the most excited about so far? X-Men?
I'm curious to see how they're going to pull us all together for Doomsday. I mean, we've been waiting for another Avengers movie, and they got a lot of pieces to pull together. We don't have like a fully established Avengers team. We've got the new Avengers. We've got all of the old Avengers that are still around. I'm curious as to how you're going to pull this all together. You're obviously going to do a bunch of cameos and fan service, and this could turn out to be a very bloated movie.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm very curious to see how they pull this off. And I mean, it's Doom. I was sold the second they told us Doom was the main villain.
Man alive. I think we're going to have some, if I had to make a prediction, I think we're going to have some jaw-dropping moments. I don't know if it'll be on the level of Infinity War, because Infinity War remains, next to Tony's death in Endgame, Infinity War remains the most shocking, I think, thing we've ever seen in a Marvel film on the big screen. Like, when they started dusting away, and dude, when Peter, I defy you to not cry during that scene. It's so good. Oh my God, it's so good. So, like, I think we're going to have jaw-dropping moments. We're going to have deaths for sure in this movie. It's going to be interesting, man. I'm here for it, though. I'm always in the bag for it. Is this it for now? Or do we have anything else coming this year? Is that the last big convention of this year?
New York Comic Con is in October, I think.
Oh, okay. I mean, because I can't remember. They don't really do like is theirs mostly like creators and comics and stuff? I'm sure they have celebrities there, right? But
yeah, I'm sure they'll do some kind of panel.
That'd be cool. Well, I guess we'll do another episode when that one gets here, kids. And we won't be going to that one either. I won't be. So, yeah. Well, before we get out of here, Phil, if you got anything left, what's your last word on D23 here?
Listen, man, can't battle the mouse, man. The Disney Empire at this point is one of the biggest games in town, and it is wild every year to see how all-encompassing it's becoming.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got two of the biggest possible franchises you could have in all of movies and television right now, with Marvel and Star Wars. And then on top of that, you also have Pixar and every other thing that Disney has their hands in. The business side of that, I don't know what to make of that sometimes, but we're getting great TV shows and movies out of it, at least.
Hey, man. Take the good with the bad, right? Yeah, they are a multimedia empire. There's, like you said, you don't cross the mouse, man. You just, yikes. Massive. I mean, like we're talking like Apple, Nike, Disney. I mean, we're talking that level now of holy Lord, right? Good stuff came out of this if you're a fan, for sure. And we hope you liked today's show. I think we covered all the main points anyway. Lots of stuff to be looking out for and to be looking forward to. And you can bet that we'll cover this stuff as it comes, as it's released and all that good stuff. So keep your eyes open for that. Thanks, as always, for checking out this show. Hope you're liking the new video format as well. We're going to keep trudging along, trying video and audio at the same time. And as always, kids, if you will, visit us on boingstudios.com. And please like, share, subscribe on the YouTube, Boing Studios. We've got content dating all the way back to 2014. Nothing's behind a paywall. So we hope you'll go check that out. Please, as always, go give Phil and Righteous Reg a follow on Grapsity. Pro wrestling podcasting done right, kids. So if you will, go check that out. And come back here next week for a brand new episode of the 6M Podcast. And until that time, that is our review of D23. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Check out our social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at 6M Podcast. We'll see you next time.